Alrighty. Part 2. Let's get this stupid section over with. The struggle is real. Hey guys, welcome back. As I said at the top, Part 2, Hero of Ages.
Bit of a slow burn.
Struggle bussin'. I'm riding it.
I've had slower builds.
Well, I mean, I was struggling in Part 1 and Prologue too, so it's just a continuation of my misery with this one. Originally I thought it was because I took a break from reading the series, but no, I think it's just this one. I mean, this was a long part. I mean, and then it had like short chapters and long chapters, but in like the short chapters, we were with like the other characters like Breeze and Sazed and Tinsoon and Spook. And then the long chapters were with Ellen and Vin and the army, and I'm just like, I'd rather spend more time with the rest of the crew than Ellen and Vin, because they're just doing more of the same thing, which is moving along, taking over a city here, taking over a city there. I mean, I know it's all build up.
Oh.
It kind of reminds me, those chapters. If you've ever seen Clerks, I felt like Randall when he's describing
The Lord
of the Rings. That is how I felt reading this part in the long chapters with Team Venture.
Okay. I'm not going to say I had, a great time with this part. But I think that's because I was getting to the end of another book and,
your mind wasn't in it.
Yeah, I was like, I want to finish that book, but I need to read this.
Yeah, so we kind of both struggled on this one. There was some good things, but like I said, they were short chapters and they'd start getting good and end of chapter, back to Team Venture. And I'm just like, no! I mean, Spook.
Spook is
coming. He's coming to be something in this.
He's hurting himself with burning tin so much.
Oh, he's a freaking tin addict.
But
now
he's a player.
Well, and he experienced some traumatic event in which his life was on the line, but he had no tin to rely on, and all of a sudden he gets a visit from the survivor.
Whether it's a hallucination or not, we don't know yet.
Yeah, we don't know. But he gives him the power to burn pewter. So now he's burning too. But
he's breaking a rule.
Yes. Is he really is he like a Mistborn that doesn't know he's a Mistborn?
No, there's a perfectly logical explanation.
Oh, has it been? It hasn't been spoken of yet, has it?
You'll figure it out.
Okay. Anyways, but yeah, so he's multi-burner now.
So he has both physical pumps.
Right.
He has better senses and better strength and speed and such from
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we learn a little bit more about his backstory, and so I was...
And then, there was that part where him and Sayes were talking in the cave with the water.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just he kind of blew Sayes away with, that was really observant.
Yeah,
with Sayes dealing with his trauma.
Yeah. He has brain cells, and they work.
Because he just, kind of was maybe you're having problems with religion because she had a problem with religion.
She being Tinwell.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Spook, I mean, he's kind of, this was his, it seems like this is his book.
Well, Sayes and Breeze both were that boy's changed.
Yeah. So, I'm excited to see where his arc goes.
Well, remember I told you everyone gets more important.
Yeah, this is true. You did give me that heads up. what else happened in this one? Oh, so we got to hang out with Tensoon, and he's a dog again. Hey, hey. Hey, hey.
That took a while, though.
Oh my gosh. It took to the last page. Not really, but well, for him to be all dog.
If you look at his chapters alone, it didn't take that long.
No.
I mean, time had to pass.
Right. Well, and that's the thing. They were short chapters, and I'm like, no, let's spend a little more time here and less time over there. Because this is exciting, interesting stuff.
He's a prisoner.
What's going to happen to him? You know, and now we end and he's like broke free. He said bye to the Conjure homeland. For good.
After breaking some bones.
Yeah.
Well,
true bodies.
True bodies. But
mm-hmm. So he's like he's definitely a rebel now. If he wasn't one before, which he was. He's
still a great character.
Yeah, so, another one I'm like, let's see where he's gonna go. I'm assuming he's gonna go back to, like, try to reunite with Vin and Elind and all them.
That'd be the assumption right now. But I wanted to point out another character that I can't remember where he goes, but human.
Oh, the Kolos.
Yeah, that's kind of interesting.
Yeah, he's he's with Vin and Elind, but I think
he's actually under Vin's control.
Right, so he's... As of right now, I would imagine he's sitting outside of, what is it, Phaedrex?
Yeah.
He's sitting outside with the rest of the army. But he's more on, like, the outskirts.
Mm-hmm.
But he's still there. Him and her kind of had a...
She's doing her thing with other creatures.
Yes, like she kind of did with Orsur, who actually was Tensoon. But, you know, bonding, or trying to bond. So they kind of had a moment. What else?
Saz has been struggling just mentally the whole time.
I mean, I know he's like...
Maybe Spook kind of gave him the jab that he needed.
I hope so, because he's getting to be a downer. And like when we first started this series, he was like one of my favorite characters. And now I'm just like, oh my gosh.
He's very important.
Down to the dumps, though.
Yeah.
I'm just like, ugh. Please come out of it soon. They need you to be yourself. Yeah. But had a ball. Whoa, we had a ball. We ain't had those since probably the first book.
Elind and Vin had to use their Mistborn powers to go into the city, and they just crashed the ball.
But I mean, they didn't really like crash it because they were dressed for it. But yes, they were not invited. When I think of crashing something, you just kind of show up. You're like, oh, hey, look, there's a party. Let's go.
That's kind of what they did.
But they kind of planned because they were dressed to the nines.
But to the insiders,
they just showed up, yeah, I guess. But they kind of prepared. When I think of crashing, you don't prepare.
I will say, whether you agree or not, I think Elind telling the guy to go fetch the book and then let's dance because they never had a chance to dance.
Nope.
And they start dancing and he just whips out a book, starts reading.
Yep, he goes back to old school bald Elind when they first met.
I love that part.
It was even the book that he was reading when they first met.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a little bit of a mushy-gushy moment. She's even like, oh yeah, that's like really romantic. Like, she said something about...
Maybe.
Like if you're wanting your wife to kill you or something like that. But... So that
they put on a hell of a dance.
Yeah, that's about all they got out of the ball because he was not successful with talking to Yeoman.
He kind of slipped into his old mentality a little bit talking to him, though.
Mm-hmm.
So by the end of the ball, there was some character growth between both of them.
Yeah.
So hopefully we're past that hurdle that they were in part 2.
We can actually get some stuff done instead of just moving along.
Well, I will say, I know where it ends up. There's a lot of space to cover.
Mm-hmm.
Stuff's got to start happening.
I know. Something's got to start happening. I mean, I know you've said that there's generally not any series that you have read that they don't have a lull.
It might not. This isn't even really that big of a lull.
For me, it is.
I went through a 3-book lull before.
But see, here's the thing. I think you have the advantage because you know what it's leading up to. I have no clue. So I'm just like, oh my god. Can we just stop freaking walking around and do something?
This goes back to you not having patience.
Oh yeah, that's true. I don't have patience. That was established early on in this game. So, yeah. But anyways, I mean, I don't really have much to say about it.
Wasn't a really eventful part. It was more setting the stage and just kind of character moments here and there.
Yeah, learning a little bit more about I don't want to say they're minor characters, but they're not...
The secondaries.
Yes, the secondaries. Yes, so...
And you do find out that the Lord Ruler might not have been evil per se, but he still, like, tried to have stuff set up in case stuff happened. With the, supply caches and stuff.
The storage sheds. But yeah, now that we've hit on Lord Ruler. I can't recall, and maybe I'm not understanding. When Rashek took the power, was he carrying Ruin or the other one? Which is Ruin and
Preservation?
Preservation, yes. Which power was he taking?
I believe it was Ruin.
Okay. So where's Preservation come in all this? Because it seems like they're two different entities.
They are.
Good, bad, So, but he was carrying Ruin, you said? She released Ruin. Vin did.
So by using the power, you kept Ruin on lock.
Okay.
And if you look at the blurbies, it's kind of like he had to learn really fast what to do with the power. Because he was messing stuff up, and then he slowly was starting to get better with it.
Right. He was trying to undo what he'd done.
Well, fix
what he had done.
Yeah.
And in doing that, he altered life and all that good stuff. But okay, so he's carrying Ruin. She released Ruin. Preservation. I don't know where it comes from or what it is. Okay. Yeah. So that's where we're at.
Big things coming.
I hope so. I hope so.
I don't remember what all happens in what part. I just know the ending is big.
I hope so. I hope it's worth the struggle, because we're not even to the halfway mark yet. So.
I don't know if you're ready for epic fantasy.
We'll see. But anyways, yeah, I think that's about it for this one.
Any kind of...
No predictions, no foreshadowing. Let me tell you, all I could think this was, please let it be done soon.
You got to the end of a chapter, another chapter.
Yeah, it was to the point where, like, I'd start another chapter, and, like, before I would even read it, I would see how many pages, and I'm just like, we're not doing this one right now. Or, it's only 2 pages, we'll do it. But then it was usually, like, a good part, and I'm like, yeah, let's keep going, and then it would end, and I'm just like,
The last time I would, like, get to the beginning of a chapter and, like, flip to the end to see how many pages it was when I was reading Wheel of Time.
Yeah, so... But you liked that?
It's more of just figuring out how long this is going to take me?
Yeah. No, mine was just like, oh my god. So anyways. No predictions, no foreshadowing. No predictions, no foreshadowing. And I hope part 3 is much more quicker of a read.
Much more quicker.
Oh yeah, I'm going to be all kinds of incomplete on my incorrect on my grammar. Because I'm so tired. I struggled.
It happens. But I believe the payoff is worth it.
Okay. I'm going to trust you. That's a big part of this series, is trusting one another.
Indeed.
I think we're good.
Okay.
Alright, we'll see you next go round, part 3.
Peace.